Okay, so here we are at Seed Capital Cafe. I'm Juan, scribe, and we have the pleasure today of having Mr. Reginald Rousseau. It's a pleasure to have you here, and we're gonna get to know Mr. Rousseau a little bit better. Of course, you see his beautiful artwork around the gallery, and the gallery is called Embodiment of Spirits, Unmasked Embodiment of Spirits. So, Mr. Rousseau, how did you first get into the arts?
Actually, I've been into art since I was a kid in Haiti, watching my mother actually, who was an embroiderer. So I used to watch my mother work. Okay, so that was the first time I was exposed to art. And then when I come to America, I was about 8 years old when I come to America, and I was into the graffiti scene. I used to do a lot of graffiti during that time. And by the time I get to college, I wanted to be an artist. And I tell my parents I want to be an artist. And my parents say, absolutely no way you're going to be an artist. So I went to study architecture, because in the architecture program at City College, you can get unlimited art courses. You know, so that's where I actually studied art formally at City College.
Oh, okay. Well, that's wonderful. And you came to the States from
Haiti. Originally, I was from Haiti.
Okay. And how was it coming up in Haiti?
It was great. Yeah, it was not like it's portrayed. As far as remember, you know, I was growing up in the country, not in the city. My pastime was collecting rocks, go swimming nude in the water and the river beyond my house. So life was great.
Sounds great. It sounds beautiful.
Life was great.
So these are stunning images that we have here of and what is Unmasked, Embodiment of Spirits? What is it all about?
Well, for me, one of my main media subject is portraits, and I do a lot of portraits of people. And then from doing portrait, I start doing mask, because it's almost the same thing to me. Because the portrait is also, for me, it's like a mask itself, because I don't use reality. I do expressionist art. So even my portraits look like masks. So from that work, I developed the mask. You know, I take this African mask, but during my research, actually, it was made clear to me that African mask is such a spiritual thing. The people who make masks in Africa, it's like people like who've been trained all their life. It's father to son. Okay, it's a very prestigious things to do. So there is it's something to do for fun. Okay, so what I did from doing my research and speaking to a lot of African artists, I decided to do my artwork, but I didn't make them to look exactly like real masks. That's why I use so much color. I might use some of the details, but it's more like a representation, like a reimagination of the African mask. And I make it clear that those are not African masks. Okay, because African mask is such a spiritual, connected to spiritual deities and so on and so forth. So that's why I call this Unmasked.
Hello, my name is Art UnEarthed. I'm the wife of Reginald Rousseau. I'm actually doing an interview of my husband. As an artist, being married to a non-artist, how is that challenging? I mean, I do appreciate the arts. I'm an avid supporter of dance, which is part of the arts, Alvin Ailey and Dancing in Harlem and those guys. But as far as painting and things like that, how does an artist and a non-artist connect?
Well, actually, it's the disconnection that I like. Because with you, I don't have to worry about my artwork. I don't have to worry about, discussing certain things regarding. Actually, recently, let me change the subject. Recently, somebody asked me about how do I get criticized? How do I feel about being criticized? And in the interview, it was you that I discussed. I say, my wife, who's my #1 critic, she don't criticize me like, oh, this is bad, this is good. She asks me questions. Okay, she asks me questions. Why do you do this? Why you do that? Instead of criticizing it, she asks me questions. And based on her question, I try to figure out the answers. So that's why sometimes I do change things based on the question that she asked me. So I use that as a guide, instead of a critic. Okay, I don't see her as a critic. I see her as the person who's looking out for me, who's asking me a lot of questions. I don't get upset when she asks me questions because I know she's, it's all about making me see something that she sees from her non-artistic side.
My name is Crystal Ife Sekem, and I'm a fellow artist from the area. And I gotta say, it's very inspiring to see your collection. Like, it's beautiful. It's amazing. You said you started as an architect. In the beginning, maybe even before you decided to go to college, would you have thought or knew that you would have been an artist now?
Well, yes, but like I said before, my parents would not have let me do it. It wasn't a profession that they feel like, could make me money. So even though I know I wanted to be an artist, I know it. It's just I did not know when it's going to happen, when I'm going to actually embrace it. It took me a long time to actually admit to myself I am an artist. It took a long time.
Do you have any particular inspiration? I know you mentioned your mother and how you saw her embroidering. Is there any other artists that influence you?
Actually, it's vast. There's a lot of artists I even liked that my art don't look like their work because it's just a personal thing for me. I try not to copy. I stay away from copying other people's styles and so on and so forth. So I would like people's work, but I don't want to imitate what they do. I don't want to. One of the Alex Kaz is one of the person I admire. He do portraits, and his portraits are one color. They're very pale. The people in the pictures have no kind of emotion. They're just blank faces. You have Chuck Close that I also admire, but he does small squares with the colors in it. I love his work, but I try not to do anything that he's doing.
Okay. Well, I'm sure a lot of young people will look up to these images and look up to you as an artist. What would you tell young artists as a motivating factor?
One of the things that right now I'm trying to build my skills by myself, but you have to go to school. You have to learn. It's not necessary for you to go to school to be an artist, but it's a way to get all the techniques, the history, everything, everything that happened before you become an artist. All the other artists, it's good to know about their work. So school is very important, not just for the technique, but for the history of art.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you for a great interview. Thank you for answering all my questions.